What's going on, guys? How's everybody doing tonight? I hope you guys are doing well. Thanks for joining me on this unscheduled live stream. Unexpected. I wasn't going to go live, but we have some serious stuff going on. So I wanted to go live and break some of this news to you live. So thank you to the moderators for showing up. K. Paul, Lorna, Jacqueline James, Mama of Six, Ross Snyderman, Smokin' Swamp Outdoors. Thank you guys for showing up. I appreciate you. So hopefully you guys can hear me. Let me know if you can hear me or not. I don't have the camera on right now, so yes, the screen is black. I'm trying to figure out some things here. Just checking some final sources because we have a lot of stuff coming in right now. But apparently more ships were attacked this evening in the Red Sea. So, and we have U.S. nuclear forces on high alert right now. So, very serious situation right now. Okay. So, let me just get some stuff on the screen for you. So totally unexpected. I'm sorry that I'm keeping you guys waiting a little bit. Very unexpected situation here. I mean, I kind of expected it, but I just didn't expect it tonight. So let me just share my screen. So hopefully you guys can see this. We had a bunch of advisories go out today in the evening for shipping vessels in the Red Sea. Just warning ships in the area to, be alert. Joshua Peak, thank you for the donation. I appreciate that. East Central Ohio checking in. Our ammo prices went up 2 to 3 times locally versus internet prices. Stay sharp. Interesting. Thank you so much for sharing that, and thank you for the donation. Usually my local stores are actually cheaper than the internet, so that's kind of odd. So let me just start with some stuff here. So we had multiple advisories go out this evening. It looks like 2 ships were struck potentially, or 1 ship was struck and another one was ordered to turn around. That's what it looks like. So here's one of the advisories here. You can see the date, December the 11th, 23:45 UTC time was when they issued this. The incident was at 22:45 UTC time. Irregular activity. The UK MTO received a report of an entity declaring itself to be the Yemen Navy, ordering a vessel to alter course to a Yemen port. The vessels in the vicinity are advised to exercise caution and report any suspicious activity to the UK MTO. So this is crazy. The Yemen Navy basically tried to hijack a vessel. That's what it sounds like here. So this is one incident. Okay, this is one incident here. Now let's look at another one. This is another warning that came out at 2100 UTC time. so earlier than that one. And it says the UK MTO has received a report of an incident affecting a vessel in the vicinity of the Bab el Mandeb Strait, 15 nautical miles west of Port Makka, Yemen. Authorities are investigating fire on board vessel. International search and rescue informed. All crew reported safe. Vessels in the vicinity are advised to exercise caution. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, so right down here, this is that strait, the critical strait here that connects the Indian Ocean to the Red Sea. So it happened 15 nautical miles west of the port Mocha in Yemen. Okay, so this is another incident, a separate incident. And you see the big red letters here, or the big red banner, and it says attack. Okay, so this is a separate incident. And let me see here. Let's see. And then I have another one. And then we have this one here. 2100 UTC time. UK MTO has received a report of an incident within the vicinity of the Bab el Mandeb. Okay, so this looks like the one related to the attack. Okay, so two incidents it looks like. One was an attempted hijacking. The Yemen Navy tried to order the vessel to turn around and go to a port in Yemen. And then the other one we're hearing now was a cruise missile attack. Okay, so this is being confirmed by U.S. defense officials. Let me share with you guys some information here. This is a picture of the vessel that got attacked by the cruise missile. Okay. Let me see here. So this is a Norwegian flagged chemical tanker. Its name is the Strinda. Okay. It was hit by at least one cruise missile that was launched by the Houthis in Yemen, causing a large fire on board the ship. And the USS Mason is responding to the attack and is now within sight of the vessel. Okay, so the USS Mason is the destroyer that the Houthis fired two missiles at like 2 weeks ago. And the U.S. Navy said that, the missiles fell short and they didn't even get close to the Mason, which I think is a lie. I think they fired missiles at our ship and we shot them down, but they just don't want people to know that. So that ship, and this ship was also involved in the rescue of one of the hijacked ships. Like 3 weeks ago, they sent Navy SEALs to take a hijacked ship back. And now this ship is responding to this missile strike on that chemical tanker. Okay, a Norwegian flagged oil/chemical tanker. Okay. I do have some footage here. I'm a little bit scared to share it with you guys because I know the rules here are kind of strict, but let me see. There was a video coming out on social media showing this thing on fire. Let me see if I can find it. We have a statement that was released by the Yemen Army spokesman this evening, okay, on his Twitter, and he wrote, "An important statement by the Yemeni armed forces is coming in the coming hours." Okay, so in the coming hours, an important statement by the Yemen armed forces. This was at 6:06 p.m. All right, so absolutely crazy situation going on. Let me see if I could find that video for you guys. Just trying to find. There was a video out on social media of. Oh, here we go. I think this could be potentially the ship, but I'm not 100% sure. I can't confirm 100% if this is the true, if this is true or not. But you can see this fireball here. Okay, and the website The Drive already has an article about it. They just posted it like an hour ago. Commercial ship in flames after Red Sea missile attack. USS Mason has responded to a distress call from the MV Strinda, which was struck near the Bab el Mandab Strait. Okay, so here's another view of that ship. Mama of Six, thank you for gifting 10 memberships. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. And Rodney Middleton, thank you for that donation. I really appreciate it. Have a coffee on me, Greg. Thank you, Rodney. I appreciate it. And I got to show off some of your knives on one of my streams. You make some really nice knives. If you want, I can show them off sometime. I know a lot of people would be interested in getting some. So let's read this article here from The Drive, just posted an hour ago. A commercial vessel is in flames in the Red Sea after being attacked by at least one missile fired from Houthi-controlled territory in Yemen, two U.S. officials tell the War Zone. The MV Strinda was attacked by a missile coming out of Houthi-controlled area in Yemen, two U.S. military officials told the War Zone. The vessel, which was struck 60 miles north of the narrow Bab el Mandab Strait, is battling a fire, the officials said. The Strinda is a Norwegian-owned chemical tanker, according to its owner, Mowinckel Chemical Tankers. Okay, so a Norwegian tanker, guys, Norwegian tanker. I'm sure Norway's not going to be happy about this, okay? And the Biden administration is just not doing a thing about it. These ships are just constantly getting attacked and they're not doing anything. And it's only going to get worse and worse, guys, because we're not punishing them and they think they can get away with it. Okay. It's just like, a bad kid. If you don't spank the kid, he's going to keep doing the same thing. Okay, I know like when I was a kid and I acted up and my dad, spanked me or took my toys away or whatever, I thought twice about doing that again. Okay, but we're not doing that. The Arleigh Burke-class guided missile destroyer USS Mason responded to an emergency call and is now in sight of the Strinda, 3 officials told us. All 3 spoke on condition of anonymity to discuss operational details. So 3 officials, 3 officials confirming now this whole situation and that the Mason is in pursuit, apparently. So this is crazy, guys. Absolutely insane. This marks the second time in 2 weeks that the Mason has been involved in a situation involving missiles fired from Yemen. On November 27th, 2 ballistic missiles fired from Yemen came down in the Red Sea in the vicinity of the destroyer USS Mason. At the time, the warship was concluding its response to a distress call from the MV Central Park, a commercial vessel that had itself come under attack from a group of armed raiders that had attempted to board it. And then also the other day, we had that French ship that came under attack. The attack on the Strinda comes days after France said one of its frigates in the Red Sea downed 2 Houthi drones flying towards it. And I reported on that the other day. So this is insane, guys. I mean, they're just attacking cargo ships, tanker ships, warships, anything that's coming through that strait, they're attacking with missiles. Apparently, this was a cruise missile. Okay. So obviously somebody's giving them those cruise missiles. I highly doubt that Yemen has the money and the know-how to build their own missiles, their own cruise missiles. They're getting them most likely from Iran. Okay. So, I mean, this is just insane. And this is just the latest case of Houthi missiles hitting commercial vessels. As we previously reported on December 3rd, 3 missiles fired from Houthi-controlled territory in Yemen struck 3 commercial ships in the Red Sea on Sunday. U.S. Central Command said in a statement. The Arleigh Burke-class guided missile destroyer USS Carney responded to distress calls from two of those vessels and downed 3 drones approaching it. Okay, so 3 ships were attacked. If you remember, I reported on that last week. Okay, 3 cargo ships were attacked. And it's just getting swept under the rug. The media is not talking about it. Okay, all these attacks. I mean, I don't know if we're up to like half a dozen cargo ships now that have been attacked. Hijackings are separate. Probably also a half a dozen ships that were hijacked. So this is insane, guys. This is a very, very serious situation, okay? Very serious what's going on here. Every single day, more ships are getting attacked, hijacked, warships, cargo ships. It's not ending at all, okay? It's only going to get worse and worse. Poopy McScoopy, thank you for gifting 5 memberships. Thank you so much. Shotgun Christian 65, thank you for gifting a membership. And Black Cad, thank you for the donation. And Elegant Rebel, thank you for gifting 10 memberships. I really appreciate that. Thank you guys so much. So this is just absolutely crazy what's going on right now. Just absolutely insane. Somebody here said 2 B-52 bombers could take out Yemen. Toolmaker 74. Yeah, exactly. Yep. I mean, it wouldn't really take much. And I don't know what's going on, why the Biden administration is hesitant to do anything. I understand they're afraid of an escalation, but by not acting, it's actually causing an escalation. So they think that if they don't do anything, then it's going to avoid a war in the region, but it's actually the opposite. It's the opposite effect. It's like a bully, okay? I'm sure a lot of you guys had to deal with bullies. Almost everybody had to deal with a bully at one point in their life, unless they are a bully themselves. Even then, bullies sometimes get bullied. But it's like a bully, your initial reaction is, okay, if I avoid this bully, he's not going to bother me. I'm just going to go a separate way home to avoid him so he doesn't, I'm going to just try to hide and avoid. And the problem is the bully sees that as weakness and fear. And it's a predatory response. It's human beings, just like animals, they can sense fear. Okay. And when a predatory human being senses your fear, they capitalize on it and they jump on it. Okay. It makes them thirsty for blood, just like a wolf or a bear or whatever. Okay. Human beings are the same exact way. They can sense your fear. And so this is what's happening. This is a classic bullying situation. And our government thinks that by doing nothing or avoiding a response that we're going to prevent an escalation, and that somehow this is all just going to magically go away, okay? And it's not going to happen, okay? We're going to have to confront these Houthis and all these different groups that are attacking our bases, the pro-Iranian militias. They've attacked. How many bases have been attacked already? I mean, over 100 times probably by now. U.S. soldiers have been injured. And we're not doing anything. It's just ridiculous, and because we're not doing anything, it's going to get worse and worse. It's the opposite effect of what they think. And I don't know why they're doing that. If it's just, I don't know if it's they really truly think that by not doing anything about it, that it's going to somehow magically go away and they're going to be nice and not attack these ships, or if they have some hidden agenda and that's the reason why they're not responding. I have no idea. But it's absolutely insane, guys. It's really unfortunate what's going on. Multiple attacks on these cargo ships in the last few weeks. These cargo ships are just constantly getting attacked. Let me see what other stuff I can show you. we had U.S. nuclear war command and control planes up in the air this afternoon. We had 6 of them, and I was the first person to report about that on social media, period. I didn't see anybody on Twitter, anybody on YouTube report this except me. I was the first. Okay, all the big YouTube channels, all the OSINT accounts on Twitter, they didn't catch this, okay, because they don't care about this stuff. But this is very important to pay attention to. This tells us what our nuclear forces are up to, okay, and what our level of readiness is, what our DEFCON is, okay. Nobody knows what the DEFCON is, obviously, unless you're in the military and you work on these planes, you work in the nuclear forces, then obviously you know. But you're not gonna know as a civilian, what the DEFCON is. But we can estimate or guesstimate what it is based on the activity. And today we had 6 nuclear war command and control planes in the air, which is just ridiculous. Okay. I think the last time I saw that many at once in the air was, I think it was August, end of August, I think it was. I'll have to go back through my videos. But it was like a few weeks before Hamas attacked Israel. I was reporting for a number of days there were there was a high activity in the nuclear forces in the U.S., and I was reporting on it. I did a number of emergency alerts at the end of the summer because of that, and then just a few weeks later, Hamas attacked Israel, and now we have a war. So I don't know what's going on now that they're suddenly, sending these up in the sky. But this was in the afternoon. Okay, you can see here 6 Boeing E-6B Mercury planes. That's a lot. Okay, normally you have 1 or 2. Even throughout the entire length of the Ukraine war, we only saw maybe 1 or 2 a day. Now we're seeing like 3, 4, 5, and even 6 of these every single day. Okay, I remember when the Ukraine war started, I would do a red alert or even an emergency alert because there was just 2 of these in the air. Because that was a big deal. Because I would watch, I watched the flights almost every day, and I would suddenly see 2 of them in the air when that's something that was unusual back then, going back a year, 2 years ago. And now it's like 2 of them is like nothing. That's like normal. And now it's like 3, 4, 5 every single day. And now we have 6. Okay. So this is very, very concerning. I don't know what's going on behind the scenes, but I can tell you guys from my experience tracking these flights for probably the last 3 to 4 years, almost every single day, doing breaking news almost every single day for the last 4 years, I can tell you this is extremely rare. Okay, I've only seen this one other time, and I think it was in August this year. That's it. And even then, I don't think they were all in the air at the same exact time. And it was like 4 of them were up, and then 2 more came up later while some of the other ones landed. But we had 6 in the air for several hours, okay, at the same time. And then we also had a B-52 nuclear bomber that was airborne at the same time as those 6 E-6s were in the air. And it actually got aerially refueled by a KC-135 Stratotanker. And there were also 2 nuke sniffers in the air also. Okay, all of this happening over the Midwest. 2 nuke sniffers and a B-52 getting aerially refueled, and 6 nuclear warplanes, command and control planes. I cannot stress to you how unusual that is. Here's a close-up shot of the B-52 getting aerially refueled. You can see, if you look close, it's a little hard to see, but I'll zoom in. You can see like 2 separate planes, okay, right there. So this is just absolutely insane what's going on right now. Absolutely crazy. Just let me know, guys, is my quality still good on the stream? Can you still hear me good? Can you still see the screen? Just let me know. Sometimes things cut out in the middle of a stream, and I don't want to start talking and get off deep into something and then suddenly find out that nobody heard what I said for the last 10 minutes. Okay, 5x5. All right, perfect. Okay, yeah, I've had that happen before where I was talking for like 10 minutes trying to make a really good point. Come to find out my sound was off or something. Keystone Preparedness, thank you so much for that donation. I really appreciate it. And, I hope everything's going well with you. Matthew Belanger, thank you for the donation. Seems to me the U.S. is spread thin on the globe by doctrine of being the police patrol of the world. Yeah, I guess we are kind of spread thin, but the funny thing is that we're not actually even doing anything. That's what's so funny about it. Like, it's funny that we're spread thin, but we're not even engaging anybody in war. We're just giving away stuff and spending money, giving everything away, but we're not even engaging threats when we need to, Like, for example, this situation in Yemen, it could be resolved tonight, okay? We could resolve this situation right now. We have 2 aircraft carriers in the region. We have one in the Persian Gulf, one in the Eastern Mediterranean. We have a Tomahawk missile sub with 154 Tomahawks. I mean, we could right now send a few F-16s. It wouldn't take much. A few F-16s loaded up with some air-to-ground missiles. We wouldn't even have to fly into Yemen's airspace. We could fly, a couple hundred miles away and just destroy all their launch sites that they're launching these missiles from. Why aren't we doing that? I just don't understand it. I really don't. Okay, we're not striking Iran here. We're not striking Russia or China. We're striking Yemen. Okay, Iran is not going to start a nuclear war with the United States or any kind of war with us because our military would destroy theirs over Yemen. Okay, of all places, they're not going to start a war with us over Yemen. We're not doing anything. Venezuela's threatening to attack our oil platforms, and we're not doing anything about it. We should move a destroyer right there, right off the coast of Venezuela right now. One destroyer is all it would take to devastate half of Venezuela's military. One destroyer with Tomahawk missiles, we'd annihilate all their tanks, all their any capability they have would be destroyed by 1 or 2 Tomahawk missile warships, okay, destroyers. But we're not even doing that. So we're like spread thin, but at the same time, we're weak. We're showing weakness. That's the problem. It's really frustrating to me. So anyway, enough with the ranting here. I'm going to continue with the breaking news. Minraja, thank you for gifting 10 memberships. Carl Vincent, thank you for gifting a membership. Let me see. What else do I have for you guys here? So this was last night. If you missed my update earlier, I'll just recap quickly some important points from my update earlier. So last night we had 3 aerial refuelers flying over northern Iraq and 2 airborne command posts. And this is the first time I've seen that. I always watch this area pretty much every day, and this is the first time I've seen 2 airborne command posts and 3 refuelers near Erbil. So I don't know if they're going to do something to the Iranian militants. There were more U.S. bases struck today. I'm going to get to that in a minute. We had several U.S. bases attacked today. And remember, they hit our embassy a week ago. Okay, they hit our embassy with multiple rockets or mortars. I mean, we don't even know. But look, the media is not even talking about it. It just disappeared. Nobody cares about it. Our embassy gets hit. Our warships get attacked. Multiple cargo ships get attacked. Our bases are getting attacked every single day. And where's the mainstream media? They're not covering this at all. Okay, they're covering all this BS election 2024 stuff with, the Trump trial and all this crap, Hunter Biden and all these phony trials that are just designed to divide the country more. They're just trying to jump on that it's really upsetting. Let me see what else here. Here we have a Sikorsky Seahawk that was flying around the Dwight Eisenhower, and the Dwight Eisenhower appears to be moving closer to Iraq. The Dwight Eisenhower is the aircraft carrier that we have in the Persian Gulf. It appears to be moving more northwest towards Kuwait and Iraq. Okay, it's moving deeper into the Persian Gulf. So let me just show you guys what we got going on right now, actually. We have still 2 nuclear war command and control planes airborne right now. Okay, so let me show you guys here. We got this one right here, Tolan 61, was flying around California. It just landed at Travis Air Force Base. We have another one here that appears to have just landed in Cape Canaveral, it looks like, Kennedy Space Center. That's pretty interesting. So we had a nuclear war command and control plane right off the coast of Kennedy Space Center tonight, doing these loops here and then touch and goes. That's pretty rare to see. And you could see it flew across the entire southeastern U.S. And then we had this aerial refueler that was doing some loops here near the March Air Base, which is close to Plant 42. Plant 42 is one of the secret places where we test advanced technology, military technology. So that's pretty interesting. And then we also have a Sikorsky Seahawk active right now in the Persian Gulf. Here it is. It's flying over here. Sikorsky Seahawk. So our aircraft carrier is somewhere over here, okay, in the northern Persian Gulf. Okay. So, get prepared, guys. Things are just spiraling out of control. Things just keep getting worse and worse every single day. The news is just nonstop. Vanessa Dubois, thank you for gifting 5 memberships. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. I hope you're having a good evening. And Matthew Bellinger says, the rent was good. That was nice to have more information and to have your point of view. Yeah, that's just my opinion. You don't have to agree with it, obviously, but that's my opinion. I never try to force my opinion on people. I share the news and then I share my opinion. I don't, try to brainwash people like some channels. What they do is they share like information that's basically like designed to indoctrinate, and they have an agenda. It's not what I do. I share the information. You can decide, how you want to think about it, and I share my opinion. You don't have to agree with it. That's fine. Yeah, we have over 3,000 people watching. Hit the thumbs up button, guys, if you can. If you are enjoying the stream, hit the thumbs up button. Smoking Swamp Outdoors is asking if we could do a 24/7 stream with cams soon. Yeah, I could do some of that. Yeah, I can bring back the 24/7 streams. I can definitely do that. Ruger Shep 71 says, Greg, that's why we all keep coming back. Okay, thank you, Ruger. Gypsy Stacker, thank you. I appreciate it. Wildflower says, Greg, got to get sleep sometime. Yeah, it's hard to sleep these days. Someone says a 24/7 camping stream. That would be fun. If I can get a signal, if I can hold down a signal, I would do that. I was thinking of doing a live Bigfoot expedition, but places I go are pretty remote, so the signal's not great. Um, Elegant Rebel says, I like the chill way he tells the news, no matter how bad it is. That's funny. Yeah, I try to stay calm. I've been covering a lot of different events. This is something I've done for years. Breaking news. I've covered all the major world events in the last few years. I covered COVID. I was warning people about the lockdowns like 2 to 3 months before they started, just like I'm warning you guys now that something is happening. Sure enough, the lockdowns happen. People that were watching me, they got ahead of the curve because I was seeing things, and the mainstream media wasn't reporting on it yet. So my viewers got like a 1 to 2 month head start before the rest of the world. I was telling people 1 to 2 months before the lockdowns that they're going to lock down. Then Ukraine. Ukraine. I saw it happening 1 or 2 months ahead of time before the mainstream media was picking up on it. And now I'm seeing something else potentially happening. So get prepared, guys. I don't know what's going to happen, but there's just a number of scenarios here. We got so many war fronts active right now, and they're just going to escalate it. It looks like Israel may be going after Hezbollah soon. They've already given Lebanon a warning, an ultimatum. Apparently, Sunday they gave Lebanon an ultimatum. They basically told Lebanon, you have 48 hours to tell Hezbollah to move back to the agreed upon locations where they're supposed to be based on UN Resolution 1701. And we haven't heard anything yet. I'm sure Hezbollah is not going to do that. And so Israel's going to have to go in and use force to push Hezbollah away from the border, because Hezbollah is pounding northern Israel nonstop. Every single day, they're hitting various targets, civilian targets, military targets. So Israel's going to have to step in and do something. So I'm going to just get into some of that in a second here. More there's still a lot more news to get through. This is just the beginning. But so for those of you guys just tuning in, we have more cargo ships being attacked this evening. We had one that was hit by a missile. It was a Norwegian-owned oil or chemical tanker, apparently hit by a Houthi missile. Now we have a U.S. Destroyer responding to the situation. And we have U.S. nuclear forces on high alert. We had 6 nuclear war command and control planes airborne earlier. And apparently another cargo ship was ordered to change direction, or they tried to hijack it. So that's the main headlines this evening. And I have some more stuff I got to get through here about Lebanon and Israel and stuff. Dan Zarks, thank you for the donation. Where's the rest of the world at? Why isn't anyone doing anything about the Houthis? Why is it up to us to spend money and ammunition? I feel Trump would be urging the rest of NATO to pull their weight. Yeah, totally. I agree. Yeah, I mean, it's not like, Germany or the UK or France. They have plenty of weapons at their disposal to deal with this situation. But now that a Norwegian tanker got hit, I'm sure Norway's not going to be happy about it, and I'm sure Norway's going to be pushing the Western European countries to get involved and do something. But this all makes Biden look bad. So, on one hand, it's bad. On the other hand, it might be good for the U.S. because it reduces the likelihood of Biden getting reelected now. I mean, the way he's handling all these events it's just not good, Black Cat, thank you for another donation. Look to China. They are in charge. Yeah, China right now, they're in charge of all those belligerent countries, definitely. At least economically, they are. Russia has the biggest nuclear arsenal besides the U.S. China doesn't have a big enough nuclear arsenal. So at the moment, China and Russia, they kind of have like a mutually beneficial relationship in that, China can can get backed up by Russia's nukes, and then Russia can go to China and get economic stuff from them, so they kind of help each other out that way. But I think eventually what's going to happen is China, once they build up their nuclear arsenal, they're gonna kick Russia to the curb, and they may even invade Russia and try to take parts of Siberia, depending on how strong Russia is. But I posted a video earlier with the lines in Russia. People are lining up to get eggs in Belgorod. There's a video that came out showing a massive line, people waiting in line to get eggs. So it's like, going back to the old Soviet times. So the Russian economy is hurting. They have to go to China now so they don't collapse. They're basically reliant on China. So a buddy of mine, he sent me this video. He lives in north central Wyoming, and he's got a YouTube channel. It's Bullets for Bucks. Let me see if I can get his channel up on the screen, because he asked me to give him credit, so that's what I'm going to do. He provided a really high quality video here for us. So here's my buddy's channel, Bullets for Bucks. Okay, check him out. He's got a large channel, 144,000 subscribers. He does primarily hunting, fishing, shooting, and outdoor stuff. So he lives in north central Wyoming, and he saw this train full of tanks, not tanks, I'm sorry, Humvees and various types of military equipment. And he said he's never seen that before since he moved to Wyoming, which was a while ago. He hasn't seen this ever, actually, this many vehicles on one train. So let me play this for you guys.
Here we are. Maybe we are getting ready for war. Maybe we are. Maybe war is a-coming. Busiest railroad lines in North America, and I have never seen this many military vehicles. This entire train is military vehicles. We got everything from Humvees, and down later on this train looks like some sort of Bradley assault vehicles potentially, or even tanks. It actually goes beyond where I have road access, but goes for a long ways. Even got huge guns.
Look at these howitzers, guys. Look at these howitzers here. Okay, this is in north central Wyoming. He lives in this area. Okay, he lives close to this train, and he has view of the train. He sees the trains passing by all the time. He says he's never seen this before since living there. He hasn't seen this many pieces of equipment on a train. Look at that thing, guys. That's a huge cannon
on this thing. See if I can zoom in a little bit here. We got.
So check out his channel, Bullets for Bucks, if you're into the outdoors. Check this out. Look at this. We got some Humvees here. Trying to. This looks like the new one. Forgot the name of it. This looks like some kind of generator here.
All kinds of fun stuff on here. Just keeps going and going and going. Looks like they're pretty decked out, if you ask me. And this just keeps going. And going. And going. When I turn this corner here, you'll be able to see some of the more heavily armored vehicles. Right here. And that's not the end of it, folks.
Oh yeah, here we go. Look, strikers.
The end of it, folks.
Okay, so you can see the strikers here. And he says that's not the end of it, okay? Because the road ends. So he couldn't go any further, but he said it kept going on and on. Okay, so here's his channel. Check him out. Bullets for Bucks. He's a buddy of mine. Show him some love. Subscribe. Watch a few of his videos. He does a lot of outdoor stuff. Great guy. So it's a crazy video there. This is north central Wyoming.
Not the end of it.
Okay, we got strikers here, multiple strikers.
Here we are. Maybe we are getting ready for war. Maybe we are.
So I'm going to start reading some headlines off to you guys. So we have Iran's Navy commander saying that Iran is going to push the U.S. aircraft carrier out of the region. He said, many said that the arrival of the U.S. aircraft carrier in the region is intended to change the current dynamics. However, we will push them out of the region. Okay? Iran's Navy commander, we will push them out of the region. Okay? Threatening our aircraft carrier. 3 U.S. bases were attacked in the last 24 hours. The U.S. base in al-Shadadi in Syria, the al-Assad base in Iraq, and also one of the bases in eastern Syria at the Al-Omar oil field. So 3 more bases attacked in the last 24 hours. Senior U.S. defense officials told Fox News that there have been 2 new attacks on U.S. bases in Iraq and Syria. At the Al-Assad air base in Iraq, a one-way attack drone was shot down near the base. No injuries or damage were reported. At the al-Shadadi base in Syria, there was a multi-rocket attack. No injuries or damage were reported. Not sure if I believe that, but okay. And we have John Kirby, the White House spokesman, saying, we are concerned about the worsening situation in northern Israel, and we do not want the conflict to spread to Lebanon. So there you have it, guys. The White House does not want to, they don't want Israel to go into Lebanon. You know, they don't want Israel to defend themselves. That's what it sounds like. But then on the other hand, Biden approved the emergency sale of 14,000 tank shells to Israel. So, you know, they're not selling 14,000 tank shells to Israel for no reason. You know, you don't need 14,000 tank shells to deal with Hamas. And Congress wants to, or Congress is supposed to vote on, or they were supposed to vote on 45,000 tank shells to sell to Israel. And because the holidays are coming up, they're going on break, and they're not going to have a chance to vote on that. So Biden used his emergency powers to approve the sale of 14,000 out of the 45,000. Okay, but why would Israel suddenly need 45,000 tank shells? That's insane, guys. Okay, you don't need 45,000 tank shells to go to war with some terrorists in tunnels. Okay, that's serious firepower. That's what you need if you're going to do a large-scale invasion, which is very possible. It's, Netanyahu and the Israeli defense minister, they said multiple times already that they can do to Beirut what they did to Gaza City, okay? And they've said multiple times that, they're gonna have to do something about Hezbollah if the attacks on northern Israel continue. Kevin C. Brown, thank you for that donation. Hope you're having a good evening. Nicholas Woodle, thank you for the donation. And Dan Zarks is asking, did I get the pictures of the drone flying over Fargo? I'll have to look back and check. If you could just resend them to me somehow, or maybe just reply to yourself, or reply to the original email so it comes up to the top of my inbox, because I get bombarded with so many emails, so it might have gotten lost. So if you could do that so it gets to the top of the pile again, that would be good. So strong statements coming from Iran's Navy commander, more bases attacked. Um, Defense Minister Yoav Gallant said today that basically the Hamas is on the verge of being destroyed and that the war is basically almost over in Gaza. He said many of the Hamas terrorists surrendering to the IDF were involved in the October 7 massacre. Hamas is on the verge of dissolution. The IDF is taking over its strongholds. Okay, so he said Hamas is on the verge of dissolution. So once they're done with Hamas, they're going to have to do something about Hezbollah. And the Iranian and Turkish foreign ministers had a phone conversation today. They discussed Palestine and bilateral relations. The Iranian foreign minister stressed the importance of the meeting of Iranian and Turkish presidents. That's pretty interesting. And Iranian and Chinese foreign ministers had a phone call to discuss the situation in Gaza. And the Iranian foreign minister stressed that the situation is spiraling out of control in the Middle East. And he said the scope of the war in the region has expanded. And if the attacks on Gaza do not stop immediately, there is a possibility that an explosion will occur in the region and things get out of all parties' control. Wow, guys. Okay. The Iranian foreign minister said that, okay, that if the attacks on Gaza do not stop immediately, there is a possibility that an explosion will occur in the region. Okay, I don't know what that means, but doesn't sound too good. And the mayor of a town in southern Lebanon was killed today, reportedly, when his home was struck by Israeli artillery. His name was Hussein al-Mansour. And let's see what else here. And the Israeli army has been bombing targets in southern Lebanon this evening near the village of Muhayyib. And Hezbollah was attacking some Israeli troop concentrations near the Samakah military site in Sheba Farms in northern Israel. And some air raid sirens went off in northern Israel also this evening. So Lebanon and Israel, or I'm sorry, Hezbollah and Israel are trading fire this evening. And the Israeli army said that Hezbollah maintains some joint monitoring sites with the Lebanese army on the border with Israel. That's interesting. So looks like the Lebanese army is kind of, I don't know if they're helping them or what, but it's pretty interesting. We have a lot of stuff going on with this hacking situation here. A lot of hacking going on. I want to just update you guys on that. Someone said there's no sound. Can you guys hear me still? Maybe somebody has the sound turned off by accident. Five by five. Okay, yeah, I think somebody just maybe accidentally had their sound turned off. Laura Miller says, thanks, Greg, watching from the coast of Northeast North Carolina, about an hour drive from the largest military installation in the world, feeling like a sitting duck in the crosshairs. It's beautiful there, though, at least. Mary Beth, how's it going, Mary Beth? I don't know if you covered this, but a F-16 crashed in the Yellow Sea this morning. Yes, I did. I covered it in my video updates. I think it was last night or early this morning. I covered that in my video update from, I think, this morning. Mom of 6 says 5x5, Smoking Swamp, 5x5, Desert Racer. Okay, thank you, guys. Lorna, Semper Fidelis, Angela Dunn. Okay, Blue Angel, thank you, guys. Okay. Let me just read this article to you about these hacks going on. Chinese affiliated hacking groups infiltrated critical American infrastructure, including Hawaii water utility and at least one oil and gas pipeline, U.S. officials say. More than 24 high value targets have been attacked in the last year alone as China seeks to inflict societal chaos in the event of war. Beijing is bypassing high tech firewalls by targeting ordinary employees. It comes as tensions grow over Taiwan, with targets in Hawaii and Guam at the top of the Chinese hit list. Chinese hackers are positioning themselves inside critical U.S. infrastructure by targeting careless office workers in a bid to cause societal chaos from within should war break out. Beijing's military have burrowed into more than 20 major suppliers in the last year alone, including a water utility in Hawaii, a major West Coast port, and at least one oil and gas pipeline, analysts have revealed. Wow, that's pretty serious, guys. Oil and gas pipeline, a West Coast port, I'm guessing maybe a port of Los Angeles. That's the biggest one out west, I think, or San Diego. A water utility in Hawaii. They have bypassed elaborate cybersecurity systems by intercepting passwords and logins unguarded by junior employees, leaving China sitting on a stockpile of strategic vulnerabilities. Codenamed Volt Typhoon, the project has coincided with growing tension over Taiwan and could unplug U.S. efforts to protect its interests in the South China Sea. It is very clear that Chinese attempts to compromise critical infrastructure are in part to preposition themselves to be able to disrupt or destroy that critical infrastructure in the event of a conflict, said Brandon Wales of Department of Homeland Security, Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency, CISA. Okay, so we have a government agent from the Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency saying that these hacks are being done on purpose. In the event of a war, they could basically shut down our critical infrastructure and destroy it. Okay, which is very easy to do. If, let's say, you hack into a power plant, right? You have control of the PLCs, programmable logic controllers. Okay, you have control of the PLCs. You can shut things down. You can overheat things, and you can cause literally a power plant to melt down or explode or overheat or, whatever you want to do. You have control over some of those controllers. So that's crazy, guys. Okay, so they're embedding themselves, in cyberspace. They're embedding themselves in our networks so they can shut us down and destroy our infrastructure in the event of a conflict. Okay, I'll read that to you again. It is very clear that Chinese attempts to compromise critical infrastructure are in part to pre-position themselves to be able to disrupt or destroy that critical infrastructure in the event of a conflict, said Brandon Wales. Okay, Brandon Wales is the guy's name, okay, from DHS. So that's just insane. I've always suspected that, but now we have the government coming out and, actually admitting that, which is just insane. Just absolutely insane, guys. This is just so many things happening all at once. LB Rules, thank you for gifting 5 memberships. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. So I'm going to continue here. See, what other news do I have? Oh, actually, I didn't even finish that. Either to prevent the United States from being able to project power into Asia or to cause societal chaos inside the United States to affect our decision-making around a crisis. Okay, that's crazy, guys. That is a significant change from Chinese cyber activity from 7 to 10 years ago that was focused primarily on political and economic espionage. The hackers often cover their traces by using unsuspicious devices such as home or office routers in a bid to steal employee credentials, officials told the Washington Post. Once inside the systems, they can pose as legitimate users in a technique known as living off the land. You're trying to build tunnels into your enemy's infrastructure that you can later use to attack, said China expert Joe McReynolds at the Jamestown Foundation. Until then, you lie in wait, carry out reconnaissance, figure out if you can move into industrial control systems or more critical companies or targets upstream. And one day, if you get the order from on high, you switch from reconnaissance to attack. Okay, so basically what they're saying is they embed themselves in the network. They conduct reconnaissance. They learn about the network, how it operates. They embed themselves with, and then they create a back door. Okay, so they can access the network, and they gain control of the industrial control systems or programmable logic controllers. And then once they get the order from the Chinese government, that's when they strike and they mess things up. They, mess with the power plants, with the substations, with, all kinds of stuff, dams. I remember a couple of years ago in New York, when I lived in New York, there was a hack of one of the dams in one of the suburbs outside of New York City in Westchester County, New York. There was a hack of one of the dams. I forget the name of it. And there were Iranian hackers that somehow managed to gain access and control over this dam near New York City. And luckily, they didn't do anything. But it sounds like what they wanted to do was probably try to open the floodgates and maybe flood a bunch of towns downstream or something. Who knows? But the director of national intelligence warned in February that China is already almost certainly capable of launching cyber attacks to disable oil and gas pipelines and rail systems. If Beijing feared that a major conflict with the United States were imminent, it almost certainly would consider undertaking aggressive cyber operations against U.S. homeland critical infrastructure and military assets worldwide, the annual assessment reported. Okay, so this is from the Director of National Intelligence, okay? If Beijing feared that a major conflict with the United States were imminent, it almost certainly would consider undertaking aggressive cyber operations against U.S. homeland's critical infrastructure and military assets worldwide. So that's crazy, guys. Hiding among authorized users can leave the hackers almost invisible to authorities. The two toughest challenges with these techniques are determining that a compromise has occurred, and then once detected, having confidence that the actor was evicted, said Morgan Adamski of the National Security Agency. But in August, the hackers were spotted trying to penetrate systems run by the Public Utility Commission of Texas and the Electric Reliability Council of Texas, which provides the state's power. Okay, so they were trying to mess with the power of the electric in Texas. But Hawaii is thought to be the biggest target given the crucial role it would play for the U.S. if conflict broke out over Taiwan. Chinese military planners intend network warfare to play a crucial role in amphibious invasions, with air and missile strikes coordinated alongside cyber attacks on command networks, critical infrastructure, satellite networks, and military logistics. This is stuff they pretty clearly see as relevant to a Taiwan scenario, he said, though they don't explicitly say this is how we're going to take over Taiwan. In May, Microsoft uncovered Chinese attempts to infiltrate dozens of sectors in Guam, the closest U.S. territory to Taiwan. Communications, manufacturing, utility, transportation, construction, maritime, government, information technology, and education organizations were targeted by Volt Typhoon. Okay, Volt Typhoon is the name of this, campaign, I guess you would call it, cyber campaign or whatever, cyber operation by the Chinese military. Um, that month, the Five Eyes Security Alliance between the US, UK, Canada, Australia, and New Zealand offered new advice to companies on how to keep their systems safe. But new requirements on states to report on cyber threats to their public water system have been withdrawn by the EPA in face of court challenges against federal overreach. Beijing has a long history of cyber warfare with the West and managed to steal critical control data from Canadian gas pipeline operator Telvent after breaching its firewall in 2012. Hackers at the notorious Unit 61398 were responsible, and 5 members of the unit were indicted in 2014 for hacking U.S. companies. But officials believe the strategy has changed from one of gathering intelligence to one of wreaking havoc, and no company is too small or seemingly unimportant to escape Chinese attention. Eric Goldstein of CISA told the Post that many targets are not necessarily those that would have an immediate relevant connection to a critical function upon which many Americans depend. Opportunistic targeting based upon where they can gain access is a way of establishing access to an entire industry. The NSA has warned that any employee is at risk of allowing Chinese spies into their company and has urged firms to insist on mass password resets. They want better monitoring of accounts that have high network privileges and warn that authentication, which relies on a text message to a user's phone, can be intercepted by foreign governments. That's pretty interesting. And while the Chinese are keen to project their growing military strength, the full extent of their cyber capabilities remains a closely guarded secret. So this is crazy, guys. Absolutely insane. China wants to take down our critical infrastructure. It's just insane. So there you have it, guys. That's the latest on the China cyber attack situation. It's nothing really new. I've known about that for many years. That's something that many people in Homeland Security have been worried about for many years, that they would try to basically mess up our critical infrastructure if we went into a war. If it was like a World War III scenario, or if there was a war in Taiwan, they could basically mess up all our pipelines, our electric, everything. So just something to think about from a preparedness standpoint. This is why you always want to have some emergency food. You always want to have some resources at your home. So if something like that did happen, you're not, running around like a chicken with your head cut off, panicking. One good way to stock up on emergency food is to check out the sponsor below, which is My Patriot Supply. They're a sponsor of the channel. You can get 25% off their 3-month emergency food supply. Okay, freeze-dried food, 3 months, 25-year shelf life. You get 25% off. Use the link in the description below. It's preparewithNYPrepper.com. That's a good place to start. And, you should diversify your emergency food storage. Don't just only have, My Patriot Supply, even though I think it's a great product, but, you should have other stuff as well. Diversify your food storage, but something like My Patriot Supply, getting a few weeks of that, is a good start. So let me see, what other stuff do I have here? Slovakia and Hungary are apparently against the start of negotiations on Ukraine's accession to the EU. And we know that the government in Slovakia has become very anti-Ukrainian. The new parliament is very anti-Ukrainian. The new prime minister, I forgot his name, I think Robert Fico. He's very anti-Ukrainian. The U.S. Air Force has announced that 15 airmen with the 102nd Intelligence Wing of the Massachusetts Air National Guard have been disciplined for failing to report the worrying behavior in seeking sensitive information that was being exhibited by 21-year-old Airman First Class Jack Teixeira prior to his leak of classified material in April of this year within a Discord server named Thug Shaker Central. So if you guys remember, this guy leaked out all the sensitive documents related to the Ukrainian counteroffensive. He leaked out, like, how many tanks Ukraine got from America, how many tanks they had ready for the counteroffensive, all the different types of equipment. He leaked it out into a Discord server. And apparently his dad was like a high-ranking, I don't know, commander or something. So maybe he felt like he would never get in trouble. But looks like 15 airmen have been disciplined for failing to report his behavior. Not sure what's going to happen to him. And a top White House national security official said recent cyber attacks by Iranian hackers on U.S. water authorities, as well as a separate spate of ransomware attacks on the healthcare industry, should be seen as a call to action by utilities and the industry to tighten cybersecurity. So lots of hacking going on by Iran and China, lots of hacking. And it's just going to get worse and worse, more and more hacking. What's going on, Roaming Prepper? I hope you're having a great evening. The EU are all not on the same page. It's reminding me more and more of World War One. Yeah, there is some division in the EU. I mean, most of like Western Europe, they're all kind of the same. They're very leftist. And then Eastern Europe is more, they're a little more mixed, more different. So yeah, there is some division there for sure. Diva's mom, what's going on, Diva's mom? Ross Niderman says, great job, Joe Biden. That's funny. Yeah, he's doing a fantastic job. But we got cargo ships under attack, the U.S. Embassy attacked, multiple bases being attacked. I mean, it's just, Venezuela about to invade Guyana. We have, the situation in the Middle East. We have Ukraine and Russia, which I don't think we've seen the last of that. I mean, right now it's pretty quiet, but it's going to pick up again soon. It's possible that Russia may try to make some kind of big move before Ukraine gets more equipment. We'll have to wait and see, but there's a little bit of a stall in Ukraine getting equipment now, obviously, because the Republicans and Democrats can't agree on a package. So Russia may try to use that to their advantage. I want to just show you guys some interesting footage. If you missed my update earlier, we have some UFO footage here. Check this out, guys. This is pretty interesting. Let me know what you guys think. I don't know if this is old footage, because I couldn't really find it anywhere besides this one source that I had. This apparently shows an F-35 and a KC-10 aerial refueler flying together, and then a UFO flies in between them like a little sphere, just going super fast in the opposite direction. Let me play that for you. So just look closely. You'll see like a little sphere. There it is right there. Let me see if I can go back. Where is that thing? Where did that go? There it is right there. You see that? Little sphere. Wow, that's so freaky. Look at that thing. It looks like a little basketball or something. Let me see if I can zoom in on it. I can get a closer look. Looks like a little basketball or some kind of. See if we can zoom in on this thing. Let me see if I can make this really large. So there it is right there. You see that sphere looks really crazy. Wow. It's pretty small, it looks like. I mean, you can see compared to the wing, it looks like it's probably smaller than one of the jet engines there on the wing. Looks like it might just be a 2-3 feet in diameter, but it's moving like super fast. And these planes go really fast. They go 500 miles an hour, and this thing just passes them like they're standing still. It's just crazy. So I don't know what you guys think of that, but I thought it was pretty interesting, and I wanted to share that with you. I don't know if it's old footage, like I said, but a lot of talk of UFOs nowadays. They're trying to get us conditioned to the idea that UFOs are real now. For many years, they denied it, and now suddenly they're creating task forces and all this stuff. This is insane. So, wanted to just share that with you. It's pretty interesting. And then there's another video here coming out of Chile. This strange object in the sky. It was like a red object. Not sure what the heck that was, but look at that thing. I don't know if that was a meteor or what. Really strange. Light Source, thank you for gifting 10 memberships. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Light Source Engraving, lasers and more. Thank you for giving 10 memberships out. It's very kind of you. If you want, I can share your channel out. I don't know if you have a channel on YouTube, but if you have a channel, post it in the chat, and the moderators will share out your channel. Adam Williams says Project Bluebeam. Earth Angel Anna, what's going on? Good evening. Looks like a flare. Yeah, it could be a flare. But why would somebody just shoot a flare up in the air? It's just kind of strange to me that there'd just be a random flare in the air like that. So I don't know what the heck that is, but pretty strange. Let's just share the latest solar disk. You can see not a lot of sunspots right now. Sun is pretty quiet, and we're going down towards a solar minimum right now. So we're going to see the sun get quieter and quieter as time goes on. And some people think we're heading for a mini ice age due to a grand solar minimum, which I think is very possible. It's happened before during the Maunder minimum. There was a mini ice age. Um, so just a crazy situation, guys. Absolutely insane. We have more warships getting hit. We have nuclear warplanes in the air. Six of them today. It's just constantly getting worse and worse. We have the Iranian Navy commander saying that they're going to try to push out our aircraft carrier, the Dwight Eisenhower. So it's just insane. Absolutely insane. Paul Pardue, thank you for donating to my PayPal. Thank you so much, Paul. Paul Pardue, I appreciate that. Thank you so much. So I'm trying to see if there's anything breaking right now and see if there's anything happening right now. But that's some of the latest breaking news that I have. I recommend you guys watch my update from earlier today in the afternoon, late afternoon. A couple hours ago, I put out an update. I recommend you guys watch that if you didn't see it yet. But let's just see what's going on right now at this hour. Check some of the flights here. See what's going on here. And I'm just going to see if there's any updates on the situation with the warship, the cargo ship that got hit by the missile, the tanker. Oh, yeah, we have a statement coming out from Central Command. Breaking news. Breaking news, guys. Let me put it up on the screen. So, see, I knew they would put out a statement. That's why I wanted to check. I knew they would put a statement out. So this is coming from Central Command. They put out a statement on Twitter. Okay, they just put this out actually 10 minutes ago. Okay, U.S. Central Command statement on missile attack in the Bab el I don't know how to say that. Bab el Mandeb at around 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on December 11th, the motor tanker Strinda was attacked by what is assessed to have been an anti-ship cruise missile launched from a Houthi-controlled area of Yemen while passing through the Bab el Mandeb. The Strinda reported damage causing a fire on board, but no casualties at this time. There were no U.S. ships in the vicinity at the time of the attack, but the USS Mason responded to the Strinda's Mayday call and is currently rendering assistance. Okay, so that's the official statement from CENTCOM. Okay, they just put this out 10 minutes ago. So I'm just checking the flights now, seeing if there's any more nuclear warplanes in the air. Looks like they might have landed. Looks like they're taking a break for the night, maybe. Cynthia Gordon is asking, where do I get my info from? My info comes from multiple sources, and I'm not going to reveal all my sources, but I use multiple sources, and they're all accurate. Ross Snyderman says, wow, that was just now, basically. Yeah, I knew they were going to put a statement out. I had a feeling. So, yeah, good timing. Darting around says Biden will win in 2024. America is still sleeping at the wheel. Yeah, it's very, very possible. It's very possible he could win. I mean, we have a lot of polls coming out that show Trump ahead by like 4%. The Wall Street Journal just came out with a poll showing that Trump is ahead by 4%. But who knows? Polls are polls. It doesn't really matter. I mean, things can change. If they find Trump guilty on something, obviously his poll numbers are going to go down, and that's what they're hoping will happen. Obviously, um, T.W. Perry, thank you for sharing out those channels, Smoke and Swamps channel and Light Sources channel. Thank you. I appreciate that. So the election next year is going to be insane, and there's also a big possibility that Russia may make some kind of big move next year. Russia or Venezuela or Iran or North Korea or China, all these countries, I think, they know that there's a possibility that Biden may not get reelected, and they may try to do something next year, before Biden leaves office, because they might be afraid that, okay, if Trump comes in, things are going to be different. So we have to, take advantage. It's like a window of opportunity, and we have to take advantage of it, now, while we still can, kind of thing. So that's what I'm concerned about. That I'm concerned that they might do something. So Diva's mom says, because of our weakness, the world has no parent. Like you said, humans need order and rules. Right? Yeah, there has to be some kind of rules, and they're just doing whatever they want basically without any punishment. Um, any reports of massive cyber attacks on the U.S.? Not at the moment, but I was just reading about the Chinese and what they've been doing to our infrastructure, and the director of national intelligence and some people at the DHS are saying that China basically has embedded themselves in our networks, especially our critical infrastructure. So if there's any kind of an escalation in Asia or there's a world war, then they can basically just, flip the switch and destroy a lot of our critical infrastructure, our dams, our pipelines, our power plants, things like that. Rip Curl Readiness, what's going on? Hope you're doing well. Someone said the Mason ship must be a Masonic Lodge ship. That's funny. I didn't even think about that. The USS Mason. Yeah, it's a good point. I mean, the Masons have, been involved in the founding of our country, so makes sense they would name warships after them. Yeah. I mean, you could really go down the rabbit hole on that, but I mean, just like the way Washington D.C., the architecture of Washington D.C. and the way the city is laid out was planned by Masons. Mud and Munitions, how's it going, dude? I hope you're doing well. Thanks for tuning in. FJB, yeah, I agree. Ross Niderman says, I'm not a Trump fan anymore. Yeah, I think a lot of people a lot of Republicans lost their love of Trump. I mean, not all of them, but a good amount of them lost their love for Trump. Rip Curl says, I'm doing good. Thanks for asking. Hope you're doing well. Yeah, I'm doing good. Thanks for asking. Yeah, the Washington Monument. That's right, the Washington Monument. You remember when they blew up the Georgia Guidestones? You remember that? That was crazy. I mean, that's like a giveaway, right? Dead giveaway right there. They don't want people to know what their plans are, so they nuked it. They destroyed it. Then you have the Denver International Airport, the murals at the Denver International Airport. You guys should check that out if you've never seen that before. Some really creepy murals at the Denver International Airport. I heard that they painted them over though, but just like a lot of apocalyptic, stuff with those murals. And a lot of people think that the Masons have like a base underground underneath that airport. Um, Earth Angel Anna says, I thought you said urinals. Oh, that's funny. Sorry. Yeah, murals, murals. Yeah, urinals. That's funny. Toolmaker says, my dad was a Mason and a devout Catholic. Yeah, a lot of low level Masons, they're not evil people. They're just normal people, members of their community and stuff. It doesn't mean that they're like, evil and doing these satanic rituals or something. It's the higher level Masons that partake in all that stuff, the satanic rituals and all that weird stuff they do. Um, so, so Thursday, Putin is going to be giving his end of the year press conference. It's going to be interesting to see what he says. I'm going to see if I can cover it live. So if I cover it live, you'll obviously see that. It'll probably be during the day, earlier in the day. But Putin hasn't given a end of the year press conference in 2 years. Last year he skipped it because of the war. So it's going to be interesting to see what he says. Truth or Sorrow says, I think they destroyed the Georgia Guidestones as a ritual to start implementing what it said. It wasn't meant to be permanent. Interesting. That's interesting. Yeah. Right. Yeah. They're already started on it. So, yeah, that makes sense. And the whole background of those Guidestones is really bizarre. If you read about, like the guy who built it, there's like no information about him. Like the guy who filed for like the building permit, it's like some weird thing with him. Like they couldn't find his like name or something, or it's just some weird stuff. Really strange with those guide stones. Actually, if you look at Georgia Guidestones here on Google, it says that it's permanently closed. Permanently closed. It actually has 1,800 Google reviews with 4.2 stars. That's pretty funny. Permanently closed. There it is right there before it was destroyed. See what Wikipedia says about it. The Georgia Guidestones was a granite monument that stood in Elbert County, Georgia from 1980 to 2022. So 32 years. It was 19 feet 3 inches tall and made from 6 granite slabs weighing a total of 237,000 pounds. The structure was sometimes referred to as an American Stonehenge. The monument's creators believed that there were going to be an upcoming social, nuclear, or economic calamity, and they wanted the monument to serve as a guide for humanity in the world which would exist after it. Controversial from its time of construction, it ultimately became the subject of conspiracy theories which alleged that it was connected to Satanism. On the morning of July 6, 2022, the Guidestones were heavily damaged in a bombing from a vandal, and the debris and Guidestones were removed by the local government later that day. In late July, Elberton Mayor Daniel Graves announced plans to rebuild the monument. However, on August 8th, the Elbert County Board of Commissioners voted to donate the remains of the monument to the Elberton Granite Association and return the 5 acres of land on which the monument was erected to its previous owner. So the construction was really strange how they built this thing. In June 1979, a man using the pseudonym Robert C. Christian approached the Elberton Granite Finishing Company on behalf of a quote-unquote small group of loyal Americans and commissioned the structure. Christian explained that the stones would function as a compass, calendar, and clock and should be capable of withstanding catastrophic events. The man reportedly used the pseudonym as a reference to the Christian religion. Christian said that he wanted to build a granite monument that would rival the British Neolithic monument Stonehenge, which he drew inspiration from after paying it a visit. However, he said that while it was impressive, Stonehenge had no message to communicate. Joe Fendley of the Elberton Granite believed that Christian was a quote-unquote nut, and he attempted to discourage him by providing a price quote for the commission, which was several times higher than any project which the company had previously undertaken, explaining that the construction of the guidestones would require additional tools and consultants. To Fendley's surprise, Christian accepted the quote. When arranging payment, Christian claimed that he represented a group which had been planning to construct the guidestones for 20 years and wanted to remain anonymous. Christian said he had chosen Elbert County because of its abundance of local granite, the rural nature of its landscape, its mild climate, and family ties to the region. The total cost of the project was not revealed, but it was over $100,000, equivalent to $400,000 in 2022. So not too expensive. I figured it would be more than that. Christian delivered a scale model of the guidestones and 10 pages of specs. The 5-acre site was purchased by Christian from a local farm owner. The owner and his children were given lifetime cattle grazing rights on the guidestone site. The monument was located off Georgia State Route 77, around 7 miles north of the city of Elberton. On March 22, 1980, the monument was unveiled by Congressman Doug Bernard before an audience of between 200 and 300 people. At the unveiling, the master of ceremonies read a message to the gathered audience. In order to avoid debate, we, the sponsors of the Georgia Guidestones, have a simple message for human beings now and for the future. We believe our precepts are sound and they must stand on their own merits. So who are these sponsors? Very strange. Very strange. This is really interesting stuff here, guys. I know a lot of you guys tune in for the breaking news, but this is important too. Let's see, just checking the chat, see what you guys are saying. Ragnarok Farden, thank you for the donation. Here you go, bud. Thanks for what you do. Thank you, Ragnarok Farden. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Blue Angel says, I think it's the Freemasons. Yeah, it has to be the Freemasons. Who else? Exactly. Yeah. Theon 44th says Christian was a genius in today's logical sense. Just going through the chat here, see if you guys have any questions or anything. So continuing on, Christian later transferred ownership of the land and the guidestones to Elbert County. By 1981, barbed wire fencing had to be erected around the monument to keep cattle out, as they had been using it for a scratching post. A man who identified himself as Robert Christian published a book titled Common Sense Renewed in 1986, which described the ideology of the guidestones. The author wrote, I am the originator of the Georgia Guidestones and the sole author of its inscriptions. I have had the assistance of a number of other American citizens in bringing the monument into being. We have no mysterious purposes or ulterior motives. We seek common sense pathways to a peaceful world without bias for particular creeds or philosophies. So pretty insane, guys. And then they have the footage here of this thing being messed up. Look, check that out. There's the actual footage, security camera footage of this thing being blown up. It's definitely sketchy. Wow. Let me just check some more breaking news here, see if there's any updates on the situation in the Middle East. Somebody just sent me something on Twitter about some kind of satanic idol that was allowed to be installed in the Iowa state capitol. Wow, look at this. This is insane. I can't verify if this is true. Looks like this is from the Church of Satan or something, but looks like a little Baphomet statue there in the Iowa state capitol. Okay. Very strange, very concerning. Lori Scaville says, husband and I read the whole Bible, started January, finished November. Wow, that's a lot of reading. I'm assuming you probably took a lot of notes because it would be hard to remember everything. If you guys haven't hit the thumbs up button, hit the thumbs up button for me. I would appreciate it. Kat Swee says Strinda is a Norwegian oil chemical tanker. Yes, it is. That's correct. Rip Curl says the Georgia Guidestones were designed by a liberal group of eugenicists and built by a mysterious leader. Very, very interesting. Yeah, it's crazy. But this is crazy, guys. The Iowa State Capitol. We got satanic idols now. Pretty crazy times we're living in. Let me see. I'm just checking to see if there's any updates on the situation with the ships. Let's see. Looks like we got a VIP plane that just took off from Dubai. It's interesting. It's pretty quiet otherwise. We got an Italian Air Force plane going to Azerbaijan right now. It's pretty interesting. We got a Russian Ministry for Emergency Situations plane that just took off from Moscow. There was some kind of plane that had radioactive material in Russia that had to make an emergency landing. It's pretty weird. Just want to read you guys some updates on Ukraine from the Institute for the Study of War. They're saying that the Russian Central Election Commission announced on December 11th, which is today, that Russia will conduct voting for the 2024 presidential election in occupied Ukraine, likely in an attempt to legitimize the Russian occupation and Russian President Vladimir Putin's rule. Russian forces conducted a series of missile and drone strikes against Ukraine on the night of December 10 to 11. Ukrainian military sources reported that Russian forces launched 18 Shahed drones from Crimea and 8 ballistic missiles from the Bryansk Oblast targeting the Kyiv Oblast. Ukrainian military sources reported that Ukrainian forces downed all 18 Shaheds and all 8 ballistic missiles, so they shot them all down. Ukrainian Eastern Air Command reported that Ukrainian forces shot down a Kh-59 cruise missile over Kryvyi Rih. The United Kingdom and Norway will lead a coalition aimed at providing short-term and long-term assistance to the Ukrainian Navy as the UK announced additional maritime aid provisions to Ukraine. That's interesting. Russian President Vladimir Putin expressed his intention to expand Russian naval capabilities in areas well beyond Ukraine and Eastern Europe, likely in an effort to strengthen and expand Russia's ability to threaten the West. Putin attended the flag-raising ceremony for 2 nuclear-powered strategic missile submarine carriers, the cruise missile carrier Krasnoyarsk, a Yasen M-class submarine, and the intercontinental ballistic missile carrier Emperor Alexander III, a Bore-class submarine. The Bore-class subs are their newest submarine-launched ballistic missile subs. At the Sevmash shipbuilding plant in Severodvinsk in Arkhangelsk Oblast on December 11. Putin stated that the 2 new submarines would join the Russian Pacific Fleet to defend Russia's far eastern borders. Putin stated that Russia plans to quantitatively strengthen the Russian Navy and strengthen Russian naval power in the Arctic and Far East and in the Black, Baltic, and Caspian Seas. Putin claimed that the Sevmash plant intends to transfer 3 more Bore-class subs and 5 more Yasen M-class subs to the Russian Navy in the coming years. The construction and launch of new naval craft are expensive and time-consuming undertakings, and Putin's interest in expanding Russian naval capabilities in all areas where Russia has naval basing suggests that the Russian leadership may intend to include naval expansion as part of its long-term force expansion effort. The Russian military's long-term restructuring and expansion effort aims to prepare Russia for a future large-scale conventional war against NATO, and the commitment of expensive naval resources to areas beyond Ukraine and Eastern Europe likely aims to threaten NATO and its allies across multiple regions. So now we have the Institute for the Study of War saying that Russia is preparing for a large-scale war with NATO. So we have multiple, high-profile people and organizations saying that Russia is going to try to go to war with NATO. That's not a good sign, guys. It's bad. UN meeting tomorrow. Okay, that's good to know. A Baphomet statue has also been in the capitals of Arkansas and Oklahoma. Don't think it's a permanent thing, but don't know for sure. Probably trying to curse otherwise conservative states. Yeah, sounds like it. John Hoover, how's it going? I can't believe the pack of losers we have been presented with this election cycle. Yeah, it's. I know. It sucks. It's really unfortunate. It seems like it's all by design, Toolmaker74 says, gotta go. Stay safe, guys. Thank you, Toolmaker. Someone wants to email me pictures about something. Someone wrote, Debbie Grigg says Putin is evil. Yeah, he definitely is. He's definitely evil. Did I watch Leave the World Behind on Netflix, which is produced by the Obamas? No, I didn't see it yet. I did hear, though, that it was produced by the Obamas, but I didn't see it yet. Putin wants to reclaim the South Americas and Alaska. I'm the new Drudge. That's funny. That's funny. Thank you, K. Paul, for promoting my fictional series, Dark Winter. Thank you. Yeah, more episodes of my fictional series. I call it Dark Winter. I started it last year. It's about a nuclear war that breaks out, and I have to survive the aftermath. So I'm gonna be restarting more episodes. I'm gonna start filming some more very soon here. So let me just continue what the Institute for the Study of War is saying here. The Kremlin has routinely stressed that Russia is a Pacific naval power in its pursuit of an equal defense partnership with China, and Russia engaged in naval posturing in the Sea of Okhotsk in May 2023, aimed at deterring further Japanese support for Ukraine. Putin further emphasized Russian strategic interest in the Arctic later on December 11th at a meeting on the economic development of Russia's Arctic zone, a region in which Russia may intend to strengthen naval capabilities given Finland's recent NATO accession and Sweden's pending NATO accession. It is unclear whether Russian naval manufacturers will be able to produce strategic naval craft at the Kremlin's desired scale and quality in the coming years, although Russia continues efforts to gradually mobilize its defense industrial base and may decide to focus these efforts on Russian naval manufacturers. The Russian State Duma approved amendments allowing Russian courts to fine or assign compulsory work to foreigners who are convicted of crimes in Russia, likely as part of ongoing efforts to coerce migrants into Russian military service. Russian National Security Council Deputy Chairman Dmitry Medvedev, former president, announced on December 11th that the Russian government will make targeted changes to the Russian constitution. Medvedev emphasized that the Russian government must make amendments to the constitution very carefully and that there is currently no reason to discuss a new constitution altogether. Medvedev did not specify that what these targeted changes will be, and the nature and degree of these changes are currently unclear. Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelensky will meet with U.S. government officials in Washington, D.C. on December 12th, so that's tomorrow. Zelensky will be meeting with Joe Biden and members of Congress, including House of Representatives Speaker Mike Johnson. Wow. So huge news. Imprisoned Russian opposition figure Alexei Navalny's team reported that Navalny has gone missing as of December 11th, just days after Russian President Vladimir Putin's 2024 presidential election campaign announcement. That's pretty interesting. So kind of the latest scoop on the situation with Russia. It's very interesting that they're changing the constitution. It makes me wonder if they want to put Medvedev back in power for some time, or I don't know, if something happens to Putin, they want to be able to switch and put Medvedev back in control or someone else. I don't know. Let's see here. Ukraine's First Lady warns that Ukrainians in mortal danger without foreign aid. Ukraine's First Lady, Olena Zelenska, has warned that Ukrainians are in mortal danger of being left to die if Western countries do not provide continue their financial support. In an interview with the BBC, Zelensky made the remarks a day after Republican senators in the U.S. blocked a key aid bill that would have provided more than $60 billion worth of support to Ukraine. Zelensky told the BBC that the slowdown in aid represented a mortal danger. We really need the help. In simple words, we cannot get tired of this situation, because if we do, we die. And if the world gets tired, they will simply let us die. It hurts us greatly to see the signs that the passionate willingness to help may fade. It is a matter of life for us. Therefore, it hurts to see that. The Polish government denied reports that the delivery of military equipment to Ukraine was being hindered by protesting Polish truckers blockading the border. I categorically deny that such a situation occurred, said Polish Vice Minister of National Defense. Military convoys that cross the border are convoys escorted by military police. Avdiivka, the eastern Ukrainian city, which has seen some of the most intense fighting of the war, is on the verge of imminent collapse to Russian forces, according to a report. A dispatch in the Times by its former Kyiv correspondent said that Ukrainian troops defending the frontline area are starved of ammunition and hamstrung in their attempts to repel the advancing enemy soldiers. So looks like Russia is going to take back Avdiivka, and also Sersky, the general, the architect of the first counteroffensive in Kharkiv and then later in Kherson. He said that Russia is going to try to close in on Kupiansk and potentially try to take Kupiansk back. Ukraine condemned Russian plans to hold presidential elections next spring on occupied territory, declaring them null and void and pledging to prosecute any observers sent to monitor them. Olympic chiefs were criticized for allowing Russian and Belarusian athletes to compete next year as neutrals outside of team events, and if they do not actively support the invasion. The Finnish Supreme Court has blocked the extradition of a Russian neo-Nazi group leader who fought in Ukraine, warning of the risk that he could be susceptible to inhuman treatment, which is precluded under the European Convention on Human Rights. German Chancellor Olaf Scholz has reiterated that the world faced a drawn-out war in Ukraine following Russia's invasion, saying Germany needs to be ready to continue with aid efforts to Kyiv until 2025. That is why, if necessary and others are paring back, we must be able to possibly make an even greater contribution. So that's what the German chancellor is saying. They want to make an even greater contribution to the Ukrainians, and it's going to last. They want to continue to send weapons through 2025. A group of European Parliament members have urged the European Commission and the Polish government to act decisively and end the blockade of border crossings between Poland and Ukraine by protesting truckers. Lithuanian MP Andrius Kubilius posted a statement signed by 18 MPs today on X, which said the blockade denigrated the entire EU. Such a situation is completely unacceptable. It serves only the interests of the Kremlin and seriously damages the reputation not only of Poland, but also of the European Union on the whole. We therefore appeal to you to immediately address the issue, to act decisively to end the ongoing blockade of Ukraine due to Polish truck drivers' strike. Crazy situation there. Ukraine may not be able to muster the resources to launch a notable counteroffensive until 2025, Western diplomats and military strategists have told the Wall Street Journal. Kyiv's forces are now digging in for what could be an extended period of just trying to stop any more Russian advances. President Vladimir Zelensky last week ordered the construction of an extensive network of battlefield fortifications to help troops hold the line. On Armed Forces Day on December 6, Zelensky acknowledged the difficulty of the fight to regain occupied territories, but urged perseverance. Is there really an alternative? No, he said in a video address. It is a sharp shift in sentiment from earlier this year when Kyiv, buoyed by successes rolling back earlier Russian advances and with an infusion of Western arms, set out to eject Russian troops from the nearly 20% of Ukrainian territory they occupied. Ukraine's allies hoped it would inflict sufficient damage on Russian forces that President Vladimir Putin would see the war as futile and acquiesce to negotiations acceptable to Kyiv. The newspaper quoted an infantry sergeant in a frontline position who said that he is not honest about how the war effort is faring in his reports back to people at home. Wow. Absolutely crazy, guys. So they're saying that there may not be a counteroffensive until 2025. Wow. We have two Russian special flight squadron plane, well, one special flight squadron plane and one Ministry for Emergency Situations plane just taking off from Moscow right now. We have this Italian Air Force plane flying over the Caspian Sea. It's pretty interesting. I wonder where it's going. Maybe China. I don't know. We have some activity here now in the Persian Gulf. In Bahrain, we have some planes here. These look like resupply planes for the aircraft carrier at the Bahrain International Airport. C-2 Greyhounds. These look like resupply planes for the Dwight Eisenhower. Otherwise, it's pretty quiet here tonight over Yemen. And pretty quiet right now over the U.S. after all those nuclear warplanes. But I'm sure they're going to be back in the air tomorrow. I'm going to just continue reading some of this stuff about Ukraine because we kind of neglected Ukraine the last few weeks, focusing so much on other stuff. Venezuela, Israel, Gaza. So let's continue catching up on Ukraine here. Powerful Prep says, gotta go. God bless and Godspeed, everyone. Red Mimic says, let's break 2K likes. Yeah, thank you very much, Red Mimic. Hit the thumbs up button. We're almost at 2,000 thumbs up. That's pretty awesome. And there's over 2,000 people tuning in right now. That's amazing. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I know I have a lot of new subscribers to the channel. My channel grew very fast in the last few months. So if you guys don't know how I do things here, basically I mostly do video updates. But if there's something very serious going on, like tonight with those ships that were targeted by Yemen, I go live. And if there's any major world events, I go live. Like, for example, when the lockdowns were happening, I was doing live streams all night long. When the Ukraine war started, I was streaming all night long for the first few weeks. And when the Prigozhin uprising happened, I covered that. When the Israel-Hamas war started, I was covering that. So if you want, live coverage when things happen, you can definitely count on me for that, in addition to the regular updates. And then I also do a lot of other stuff on this channel. I do outdoors. I do hunting, fishing, or not. Well, I haven't done fishing yet, but I do hunting, firearms, off-roading, anything outdoors, obviously prepping. I have some gear reviews I'm going to be doing soon. I have a bunch of prepping videos I'm going to be catching up on. It's just been so crazy with the news. I haven't had a chance to really do some of that other stuff. Patrick Cornwell says you missed the campfire streams. I'm going to try to do a campfire stream this week. I'm going to try to do that this week. It's starting to get really cold out, so it might be difficult because my computer may freeze. So, but I'll try. We had a few inches of snow overnight, so it's getting cold now. TW Perry says, Greg, do you see anything about bombs in London tonight? I haven't heard anything about bombs in London. If you have a source, you can send it to me. Ross is on it. Ross is going to check. Thank you. Ross says it's going to be a mild winter. Yeah, we're supposed to be in an El Nino. Well, we're in a very strong El Nino now, so the winter should be mild for much of the U.S. So that could be a good thing. If we have so much going on, I guess that's one less thing to worry about is severe weather and extreme cold. So yeah, we're in an El Nino right now. That's right. So let me continue with some of the Ukrainian news. Ukrainian officials are pressing on with a campaign to remove Soviet-era monuments as authorities in the capital, Kyiv, dismantled a statue of a Red Army commander from a central boulevard. Municipal workers hoisted the hulking statue of Mykola, I don't know how to say that, Sachors, a Ukrainian communist who fought against Ukrainian independence following the Bolshevik Revolution, off its pedestal. The structure had occupied a prominent spot on a central artery named after Ukraine's national poet. Onlookers stopped to watch and photograph as a giant crane lowered horse-riding Sachors onto a flatbed truck. Let's see what else here. Ukrainian border officials are intercepting fighting-age men who are trekking through mountainous regions to escape Ukraine and avoid conscription, the Washington Post reports. At least 25 men have drowned crossing the Tisa River, which forms part of the border between Ukraine and Romania and Hungary. One 46-year-old man reportedly died last month after getting lost and suffering severe frostbite. Others are attempting a variety of outlandish techniques to evade capture and sneak out of Ukraine, according to Andriy Demchenko, a spokesperson at the headquarters of the State Border Guard Service. Some have impersonated clergymen, others have dressed as women and caregivers of disabled people, as well as more conventionally hiding in secret compartments in vehicles. Honestly, we need more soldiers. The professional military personnel are running out, said Dolphin, a 68th Brigade assault team leader, last month. Demchenko said more than 16,000 fighting-age men have been prevented from leaving Ukraine since the beginning of the war. So that's crazy, guys. Young men in Ukraine are trying to get out of Ukraine so they don't have to fight in the war. That's pretty insane. Let's see what other stuff here from Ukraine. More stuff about Avdiivka on the verge of falling into Russian control. Looks like shell shortages. There's shell shortages over there in Avdiivka. So I think that's all the latest news that I have, guys. You can go back and watch the stream from the beginning if you missed the major headlines at the beginning. Shelly Serendipity, thank you for the donation. Thanks for all your hard work, Greg. I don't find truthful info like this anyplace else. Lily Highlander, thank you for the donation. Thanks for keeping us up to speed and not forgetting Ukraine. Oh, yeah, no problem. Yeah, definitely. Ukraine is an important part of the world. We got to keep an eye on it. So I'll definitely won't forget about them. Looks like we hit 2,000 thumbs up. That's amazing, guys. So I want to just ask you guys, with these live streams, like, how do you like the live streams? Do you like these in general? Do you like them? You want me to do more streams like this? And do you want me to do some other streams that are not so, intense, like emergency alerts, like maybe a campfire stream, or, something more laid back a little bit every now and then, where I would just read off the breaking news in front of a campfire, or whatever. Um, Elegant Rebel says, love the live streams. Okay, that's awesome. Um, I'm glad you love them. Okay. Benjamin Duckworth says, keep up these. Leanne says, time for beauty sleep. Thank you, Greg. You're the best. Good night. Thank you, Leanne, and enjoy your beauty sleep. Thanks for staying with me here on the stream tonight. Yes, more live streams. Doom and gloom is the best. That's funny. Do a review on the survival food. Okay, I'll definitely do a review. Take us to the wilderness. If I can hold down a signal, I would love to do like a camping stream or something, a Bigfoot expedition here in the Pennsylvania wilds. If I can hold down a signal, it might be tough though. Russell says, whatever you're comfortable with. Anything info on bombs in London? Let me check on that. I haven't heard anything, but I'll check right now. Let me check some sources here. Stand by. I haven't heard anything, but it's possible something happened. Thank you for the donation. Mud and Munitions says, campfire would be awesome, but these are great as well. Thank you, Mud and Munitions. I appreciate that. Hiking stream, that would be funny. Hiking stream, that would be cool. That would be pretty cool if I have a signal. Joe Romanino, good to see you in here. Hope everything's going well. Somebody said something about explosions in Moscow, London, explosions or bombs in London. I'm not seeing anything about that. But let me see. I'm gonna check my sources here. I'm not seeing anything about something happening in London right now. So I don't know what's going on with that. Oh, I wanted to read to you guys a little bit about that house explosion in Oneonta, New York, upstate New York. There was another house explosion. They're saying that it was an accident. That's what the local sheriff is saying there. Otsego County Sheriff is saying it was an accident. So the second house explosion, apparently another accident. The first house explosion, the guy who lived there was some kind of nut job. And this one they're saying was an accident. I'm trying to find the reason, what they're saying specifically, how it was an accident. Yeah, I don't know. It's easy to just say it's an accident, right? Yeah, I'm not seeing anything about London. If you have a specific source you want me to look at, just send it to me and I'll take a look. Yeah, natural gas. Yeah, it could be natural gas. Yeah, something with the natural gas. Ross says I can't find anything about it either. Karen says keep giving us bits and bytes of prepper info and how-tos. Okay, I can do that. Rennie Nightcart says Dennis Davidov, Operator Starsky, Anna from Ukraine, Artur Rehi for Ukraine News. Yeah, those are all good sources. I haven't heard of Artur Rehi, but Dennis Davidov is one of my favorite YouTubers in general. Dennis Davidov, I think he's awesome. he gives like the best updates on Ukraine every day. Renee says, Greg, can we make some s'mores? That would be pretty good. The last Trump says, good night, brothers and sisters. Keep faithful and hopeful. Um, sounds good. We will do that. Have a good night. Um, so yeah, I think that's pretty much it for this one, guys. I kind of covered everything here. Not sure if there's anything else I can really cover. Yeah, I pretty much went through everything. Let me just see if I want to just recap some stuff that I mentioned in my update earlier. Oh yeah, there's talk about a potential coup d'etat underway in Ukraine. That they're going to try to kick out Zelensky and replace him with Zaluzhny. Zaluzhny's the general of Ukraine. That could just be, BS Russian propaganda, but we'll have to wait and see. I know a lot of Ukrainians that they're not super fond of Zelensky. I have Ukrainian friends who are, obviously patriots. They're not like pro Putin or anything, and they don't like Zelensky for different reasons. So that's, I know even what's his name, Klitschko. I remember Klitschko said something a few days ago about Zelensky. He said that Zelensky's becoming like a dictator. I think that was because Zelensky wanted to cancel the election because next year Ukraine is supposed to have elections, and Zelensky said that now's not the time to have elections. So then, Klitschko said he's becoming a dictator. So, there's some people there in Ukraine that are not super fond of Zelensky for different reasons. Minraja, thank you for gifting 10 more memberships. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Thank you very much. It's very kind of you. Diva's mom says I can only get a few things at a time, but do what I can. Yeah, just do whatever you can. Sensible prepping is very important. Being sensible is important. Mama of Six says I don't care for Putin or Zelensky, but support the Ukrainian people. Yeah, that's exactly how I am. I support the Ukrainian people. I don't care about Zelensky. I know some people just love him and they think he's the best thing since sliced bread, and that's fine. But me, I care more about the people than anything else, So, because the people are the ones that are suffering. Do I see anything about cyber attacks from China? Yeah. Somebody sent me something about Netflix being down today. I don't know if anybody can confirm that or not, but apparently Netflix was down. And I want to just say thanks to Lay L for the PayPal donation, and also, or Leah, I don't know how to say that, Leah L, and Tori or Lori T. Lori T, thank you for the PayPal donation. I appreciate that. Thank you guys, and hope you have a Merry Christmas. I hope everybody enjoys their holidays, Hanukkah, Christmas, New Year's. I love this time of year. I love the holidays. I always enjoy it, So hopefully you guys can do something fun and spend time with your family. That's important. It's important to, have some balance. I might do some kind of New Year's stream, possibly. I don't know. I have to see. I might do like a New Year's stream. I don't know if you guys would tune in for that, but could do like a New Year's stream. Maybe I'll try to stream from around the world and cover all the celebrations from around the world. I don't know. Someone said Wisconsin prepping says Rumble was down too. Interesting. So yeah, it looks like Netflix and Rumble both were down today. Let me see if I can get this up for you guys. Somebody sent me something here. Oh, Dan Zarks. I got your drone picture. This was over Fargo, North Dakota. Dan Zarks, he wanted me to share this with you guys. Let me see if I can open this up for you. Let's see, we had a drone fly over Fargo. This was sent by Dan Zarks. Check that out. Looks like a Predator drone flying over Fargo, North Dakota. This was the other day. Check that out. That's pretty crazy. It's flying really low. This apartment building looks like it's a three-story apartment building. I mean, that thing's flying low. Wow. It's insane. Somebody sent me something about the Netflix outage. Let's see. Yeah, it looks like there was a bunch of outages reported this evening. We're on Down Detector right now. Looks like a lot of outages this evening. Looks like between 5 and 8 p.m. There's a big spike in outages here. Check that out. Huge spike here. Yeah, that is a big drone. Yeah. Let me see. We can check anything else. Yes, it looks like Netflix had some outages. Let's check some of the internet providers. We'll check Xfinity. Yeah, it looks like there were some outages today with Xfinity. What was the other one somebody mentioned? Verizon. Verizon also had some outages today. Look at that. Interesting. Yeah, so it looks like we might have gotten hit today. AT&T also, same thing. Look, AT&T also a lot of outages. So yeah, we might have gotten hit today. T-Mobile, they had a big spike in the morning and then it kind of went down. Interesting. Spectrum. Also, Spectrum had a bunch. Also, yeah, it looks like we might have gotten hit today. Dan Zarks, thanks for the donation. I appreciate it. I think they are based out of Grand Forks. Yes, Grand Forks, or it could be Minot. Either one. I've seen them fly out of Minot quite a bit, actually, on the flight tracker. I track them a lot. Diva's mom says, good to hear tonight. You seem very tired. Don't forget to take care of yourself. Thank you, Diva's mom. I appreciate the concern. Yeah, I'm going to get some good sleep tonight. Check Rumble. Let me see. I don't know if Rumble's on here. Oh, yeah, there it is. Yeah, big spike. Yeah, look. Big spike on Rumble. Yeah. They actually tweeted about it 2 hours ago. Look, services are 100% restored. A major thank you to our cybersecurity partners and our entire team. This was a massive learning experience. Wow. So yeah, looks like Rumble was hit. A bunch of places were hit today. Wow. What else? Let's see. Optimum looks like they got hit too. Let's see what else. Facebook. Let's see Facebook. Yeah, looks like they had some spikes today also. Wow, looks like they hit us on all ways. It's crazy. Yeah, massive cyber attack today. That's right. Yeah, it looks like we got hit pretty much everywhere. Jay Gobelos says, look at the people running the National Nuclear Security Agency when you get a chance. I'll take a look. Looks like they are doing cyber attack testing. Alan says this is indicative of a major backbone attack. That's what it seems like. Yeah, it seems like a backbone attack. Yeah. Check Fortnite. Where's Fortnite? Let's see YouTube. What happened with YouTube? YouTube had a spike this evening too. They had a little spike here. Wow. That's insane, guys. Wow. This is crazy. Instagram. Also, unless I'm reading this wrong, I don't know if I'm reading this wrong, but I mean, you can clearly see it spikes up in the morning. Looks like it's still pretty high even now. A lot of reports of outages. So testing the waters. What's going on, Duramax? How's it going? Wanted to just shout out some channels here. We got Duramax. Check him out. He's having some issues with his channel. He got some copyright strikes, and now his algorithm is messed up. But check out Duramax. He's got a wildlife stream going, and he's doing his normal news stream on Rumble now. But check out his channel. Show him some support because he got hit with copyright strikes, and he's struggling right now with his views, and he's losing subs, and it's really a shame because he put a lot of effort into his channel the last few months. He does the 24/7 live streams, so he usually gets like a camera of the flight trackers. He's got a camera with he's got one part of the screen with the flight tracker. He constantly checks the flight tracker. He updates on the news as it comes in. He also he shares like webcams of different cities around the world if there's like conflict zones. So excellent channel. He also does live coverage of the emergency action messages. Another channel is Off-Grid Desert Farming with Paul and Adrian. He's another guy that fell victim to some of the stuff that this platform does to people sometimes. He was at like 75,000 subscribers and they deleted him completely. So he's back on YouTube now, but his YouTube is a lot smaller. And he's also mostly doing his streams on Rumble. Um, so check out Off Grid Desert Farming with Paul and Adrian. Check out Duramax. He just posted a link to his channel actually in the chat. Um, so that's pretty much it, guys. I think I'm gonna shut it down for tonight. I'll be back. I'm not sure when I'll be back. Sometime this week, maybe later in the week, maybe tomorrow. I'm not sure. We'll see. But I appreciate all you guys coming in and supporting me. Appreciate you guys sticking through the entire 2 hours. We've been on for 2 hours. So thank you guys for having the patience to stay on, and thanks for all the super chats, the donations, the kind words. I really appreciate you guys. And if you need to rewatch this stream, I'm going to say I save every stream. So if you're just coming in now, the stream will be saved and you can watch it from the beginning with the latest breaking information. So John Hoover says, Greg, that's normal. During the Vietnam War, a lot of guys fled to Canada. It happens, but not as bad as it sounds in Ukraine. Yes, I agree. There's always people that are going to flee from war. Of course, they want to make it seem like, there's a mass panic of, Ukrainians are trying to get away so they don't, But no, yeah, every war, people flee. They don't want to fight for whatever reason. So Dan Zarks says, thanks, Greg. Got to keep trucking. Got to go from North Dakota to Indiana. Oh, wow. It's pretty good distance. Hopefully the roads will be dry and ice free for you. So I might be back on tomorrow. We'll see. If not, I'll be back later on this week with more streams, and I'll always do the video updates. MG Escom says, educating and very interesting stream. Love it. Thank you, MG. I appreciate it. Thank you. There's so many things I want to talk about and so many things I want to do. Unfortunately, there's just not enough hours in the day sometimes. So, hopefully we'll do some more lighter streams in the future rather than just like intense, emergency alerts and stuff. I'll try to do some more like lighter streams where we talk about conspiracies, Georgia Guidestones, stuff like that. That's kind of a little more light on the light side, Ross Snyderman says, last final tomorrow, so going to sleep soon. Good night, Ross, and I wish you luck on your final. I think you're going to crush it. I think you're going to do well. Joan Julia says, you're getting notices of all my updates. FYI, so glad. Yeah, it looks like there was a problem with the notifications the last few days, and people were saying that they couldn't find me, and there was other channels complaining about that. I know, like Pinball Preparedness was saying something about that. A bunch of other guys. Looks like that might be fixed. We'll see. Might be on the way out, so that's good. So that's pretty much it, guys. I'll be back. Until next time, take care. God bless. And don't forget the 3 Ps: prepare, practice, and persevere.